Prime Minister Narendra Modi finds himself in a controversy after being accused of hate speech during a Rajasthan campaign trail speech on Sunday. There he had labelled Ghuspetiyas and referred to them as people who procreated. The opposition believes this is a dog whistle that is aimed at Muslims. The Prime Minister, though, has chosen not to even respond to that, instead aiming once again today at the Congress's alleged wealth survey proposal, where in its manifesto, the Congress has spoken about rising inequalities in society. Now, the Prime Minister has also brought in the 2006 statement by former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, where he had said Muslims had a first right to resources. The opposition, though, maintains the Prime Minister is simply engaging in hate speech targeting Muslims aimed at creating a Hindu-Muslim divide. All eyes are now on the Election Commission that will have to decide the issue. It's our top story tonight.
पहले जब उनकी सरकार थी उन्होंने कहा था कि देश की संपत्ति पर पहला अधिकार मुसलमानों का है। इसका मतलब ये संपत्ति इकट्ठी करके किसको बांटेंगे? जिनके ज्यादा बच्चे हैं उनको बांटेंगे, घुसपैठियों को बांटेंगे। कांग्रेस ने अपने मैनिफेस्टो में जो कहा है वो चिंताजनक है, गंभीर है कि अगर कांग्रेस की सरकार बनेगी तो हर एक की प्रॉपर्टी का सर्वे किया जाएगा। ये जो गोल्ड है बहनों का और जो संपत्ति है ये सबको समान रूप से वितरित कर दी जाएगी।
The Congress will take over citizens' wealth and redistribute it to one community, claimed Prime Minister Narendra Modi at his election speech in Banswara in Rajasthan on Sunday. On Monday at a rally in Aligarh in Uttar Pradesh, he repeated the charge on wealth redistribution without alluding to any community.
ये माओवादी सोच है, ये कम्युनिस्टों की सोच है। आपकी मेहनत की कमाई, आपकी संपत्ति पर कांग्रेस अपना पंजा मारना चाहती है, आपका स्त्री धन लूटना चाहती है। माताओं बहनों का मंगलसूत्र अब सलामत नहीं रहेगा, ये कांग्रेस ने कहा है।
Modi, while making the charges, referred to a speech given by Manmohan Singh in 2006.
We will have to devise innovative plans to ensure that minorities, particularly the Muslim minority, are empowered to share equitably in the fruits of development. They must have the first claim on our resources.
The Congress is fuming. It accused the Prime Minister of hate speech.
कांग्रेस के मैनिफेस्टो में कहीं भी मैं ये चुनौती करता हूं प्रधानमंत्री को, कहीं मुसलमान या हिंदू कोई इस तरह का शब्द हो तो हमें बताएं और ये चुनौती स्वीकार करें, नहीं तो झूठ बोलना बंद करें।
The Congress has lodged a complaint with the Election Commission citing 17 violations including the Prime Minister's speech.
We would pray to him with folded hands to withdraw these comments, to clarify, and we have asked for the Election Commission to state that this is the position. In law, we will do in his respect whatever we do with others.
The Congress manifesto promises a nationwide census to enumerate caste, subcaste and their socio-economic conditions. It also pledges to address growing inequality of wealth and income through suitable changes in policies. But does that mean wealth redistribution? And more importantly, does it warrant the comments made on one particular community? Bureau Report, India Today.
Serious issue, sensitive issue, and it is our top focus tonight. Is the opposition's charge of hate speech against the Prime Minister justified? Is this simply dog whistle politics that's played out at election time against minorities? Was the Manmohan Singh remark out of place, or has it been deliberately misinterpreted? Will the Election Commission crack down on divisive, hateful speeches? Does the Congress manifesto promise wealth redistribution as is being suggested? Joining me now, and I spoke to him a little while ago, is O.P. Rawat, former Chief Election Commissioner. Colin Gonsalves, a senior advocate Supreme Court who's appeared in such hate speech cases. Ashutosh is political analyst and author, former member of the Aam Aadmi Party, and Sanju Verma is the BJP's national spokesperson. Before I come to my live guest, I want to go to O.P. Rawat, the former Chief Election Commissioner whom I spoke to a short while ago. Prima facie, Mr. Rawat, would you agree that Prime Minister Modi's remarks made in Banswara yesterday are a violation of a model code of conduct? They are seen as targeting a particular community and therefore deserve at least a notice and an inquiry into the kind of remarks that were made by the Election Commission?
Certainly, if a complaint has been made with the recording of this speech, Election Commission would be issuing a show cause notice, I believe.
Now, you're saying they will be issuing a show cause notice. I ask you this because will they issue one to someone no less than the Prime Minister of the country? In the past, we've seen the Commission has been reluctant to raise any direct questions or notices to the Prime Minister, given his position and stature.
I won't agree to that because Election Commission has been taking such actions in the past as well.
Sir, but the fact is in the 2019 elections, there was more than one complaint made against Prime Minister Modi by the opposition claiming that he was targeting a community, inciting hatred. The Election Commission then chose not to act. In fact, the one election commissioner, Ashok Lavasa, who wanted to act and wanted a dissent note put in, was sidelined, eventually left the commission. No one eventually dared to send a notice to the Prime Minister. Will anything change?
That depends on the assessment of the evidence and the facts before the Commission.
Sir, you're giving me very cryptic answers. Let's look at it in this particular instance. The Prime Minister saying, पहले जो उनकी सरकार थी, उन्होंने कहा था कि देश की संपत्ति पे पहला अधिकार मुसलमानों का होगा. इसका मतलब है संपत्ति करके इनको बांटेंगे, जिनके ज्यादा बच्चे हैं उनको बांटेंगे, घुसपैठियों को बांटेंगे. क्या आपकी मेहनत की कमाई का पैसा घुसपैठियों को दिया जाएगा? आपको मंजूर है? Now this is what the model code of conduct says. No party or candidate will say anything that aggravates or creates mutual hatred between different castes, communities, religious or linguistic grounds. I ask you again, sir, prima facie, a comment of the nature linking a community to Ghuspetia, to procreating more and saying that they will get the wealth, does it violate MCC or not, sir?
This is what I am saying, that everything has to be put in a context, that a speech, whole speech should be there, because if we take out something out of the context, it may look very different. So Election Commission, having full facts and evidence before it, can make up their mind. If whatever you have said, only that much has been said, nothing else has been said, then sure, it is prima facie making a case of MCC violation.
No, let's be very clear. You're saying prima facie, that particular chunk of what Prime Minister Modi said is a case of MCC violation. Do you then believe the Election Commission is sufficiently strong enough to actually raise it through a show cause notice? I want an honest answer again. Is there a reluctance to send a show cause notice to, after all, the Prime Minister of the country?
I qualified my answer earlier that when everything, all full facts and the full speech is before the Election Commission and not the just one sentence or two sentences that taken out of context are there, then Election Commission will make up their mind, and I am sure Election Commission is up to it. They can take that call.
You're saying the Election Commission will have to look at the entire speech. The worry, Mr. Rawat, is politicians in this country are getting away with this kind of dog whistling hate speech much too often, appealing on the ground of religion. You will recall that Bal Thackeray in the 1990s was actually suspended for 6 years for invoking religious sentiments. In recent times, though, we see a reluctance on the part of the EC to stand up to those who make these dog whistle comments, add a religious character to their political statements?
Actually, unless the full facts are considered, we will not be able to do justice to any such case. Whatever the facts were when Mr. Wal Thackeray said something, that is the reality of that time. Whereas whatever is said now, if that comes within the four squares of those elements of violation case, definitely Election Commission will come up to it and take action.
Sir, Mr. Thackeray was disenfranchised. I bring back the point. Do you worry that politicians can say what they wish about particular communities and get away with it? Does it not worry you that they don't have any fear of the Election Commission in any manner?
Certainly, I would be worried if whole speech is having the tone and tenor and all other elements required to make it hate speech, then action must be taken.
Okay, you're saying action must be taken. You're also saying you need to see the entire speech. You will recall, sir, that Varun Gandhi, then the BJP MP in 2009, made a speech that eventually immediately attracted the EC's ire, because then he made just one reference in that entire speech to minorities, and that was considered hate speech. Now you're telling me you have to see the whole speech because before you send a show cause notice, that even references, direct references to a community are not enough to send a show cause notice? I read you the MCC, sir.
I don't think Election Commission acts like that. Election Commission will always take a comprehensive view, because during election campaign period of just about 6 to 8 weeks, they are hard pressed for the time, and they will ensure that when an action is initiated, everything has been seen by them and they are satisfied with the comprehensive evidence available.
Sir, but prima facie, if I read that statement out to you, I read it out linking a community to Ghuspetia, to procreation of children, to suggesting that they will get all the wealth of the country or first access to the wealth. When that statement is read out, should it attract some kind of notice? Or are you insisting that the entire speech will have to be seen before you make up your mind on this? Am I correct?
If this sentence is standalone, it is making a hate speech clearly. But if it has a reference to a manifesto, it has a reference to somebody else stating something like this, and with that reference, it becomes a political process.
Okay, let me leave it there. O.P. Rawat talking to me earlier, saying prima facie the statement on its own can constitute hate speech, but the entire context of the speech needs to be seen. Let's go straight across to our guests on our talking point. Sanju Verma, to you first. Prima facie, according to the former Chief Election Commissioner, if that statement is seen in itself, it is potentially a statement that deserves a show cause notice. You talk about a previous Prime Minister saying first right of resources will be to Muslims, then claim that will you want to give your resources to a community that procreates more, refer to Ghuspetias. Is this not a direct appeal on the grounds of religion, ma'am? It is potentially divisive, hugely divisive.
Rajdeep, now let me answer. This is a very sensitive and a very emotive issue, and I think we need to be very cautious when we are talking. Now, this is purely an example. If I am Rajdeep Sardesai's show, I say, Rajdeep Sardesai, you are Hindu-phobic. Rajdeep Sardesai, you are anti-Sanatan Dharma. Rajdeep Sardesai, you are anti-Hindus. Rajdeep Sardesai, you are a propagandist. Rajdeep Sardesai, you hate the BJP. You peddle fake news. Is Sanju Verma going to be accused of, crossing the line? Perhaps, yes, because she has no business making accusations at Rajdeep Sardesai without corroborative proof. But if Sanju Verma asks Rajdeep Sardesai, Rajdeep, is it true that, when it comes to the BJP, you ask more strident questions, but when it comes to the Congress party, you go soft on them? Is that hate speech by Sanju Verma? No, she's simply showing Rajdeep Sardesai the mirror. But
what is the mirror here? No, 1 minute. Sanju Verma, on this sensitive subject, let's get really, Rajdeep Sardesai is not involved. Please be very clear. You want me to read out that statement again?
No,
you want me to read out the statement again, specifically what the Prime Minister said?
No, I know the statement,
So
let
let
me respond.
on the specifics.
Don't get so agitated.
Please tell me, why is it not hate speech? Give me one good reason why it's not hate speech.
Arey bhai sahab, I'm telling you why is
Please.
it not hate speech, Rajdeep?
Please,
Come
please,
on.
please.
I think you are a person who respects freedom of speech.
Absolutely.
तो मुझे तो बोलने दीजिए आपके शो पर.
Please.
मेरी एफआई को तो बंद मत करिए भाई साहब. Now let me tell you what is the textbook definition, and I will be very succinct and very precise. The textbook definition of hate speech is when a statement is induced to either cause hate between two communities, or it is based on conjecture, or you're specifically naming a particular religion, a particular caste, or a particular ethnicity. This is the Oxford textbook definition of what is hate speech. क्या नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने मुसलमानों का नाम लिया, सिख्स का नाम लिया, जैन्स का नाम लिया, बुद्धिस्ट का नाम लिया? I will tell you one thing, Rajdeep Sardesai. When Rajiv Gandhi said after the 1984 anti-Sikh genocide, अरे क्या हुआ जब एक बड़ा पेड़ गिरता है धरती पर तो धरती थोड़ी हिल जाती है? Was that hate speech? Yes. When Hamid Ansari, after serving as the vice president from 2007 to 2017, shares a platform sponsored by the PFI और 10 साल वीपी रहने के बाद, वाइस प्रेसिडेंट रहने के बाद कहते हैं Muslims are treated as second class citizens in India, that is hate speech. When Udayanithi Stalin says Sanatan Dharma is equal to dengue, malaria, rabies and COVID, and Priyanka Kharge, the son of Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge, says Udayanithi Stalin ने सही कहा, कुछ गलत कहा ही नहीं, that is hate speech. When Rahul Gandhi says हम शक्ति के खिलाफ हैं, हिंदू धर्म में शक्ति का पूजन होता है, that is hate speech.
No,
when Senthil Balaji,
one minute. I am not. Okay, Sanju Verma, I am not in the mood today for a harangue, ma'am.
That is hate speech.
Okay, you have told me what is hate speech without. Let me be very clear, and we will exactly once again refer to the specifics of the speech. There was a certain reference to Muslims.
Why do you think
don't beat around the bush anymore, madam. Please put on voice. There was a specific. The audience must know exactly what was said. It's a sensitive issue, and therefore we must be sensitive. The word Muslim was used, so let's not beat around the bush. It was specifically referred to that the Prime Minister, then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, had said in his in a speech that Muslims have a first claim on resources. The context of that was not given, and we will give that context in a moment. And that's where I want to turn to what Manmohan Singh had said then. Just listen into the Prime Minister, because you can clip a speech, whether it's of Prime Minister Modi or former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. Listen into what Manmohan Singh had said then.
I believe our collective priorities are clear. Agriculture, irrigation and water resources, health, education, critical investment in rural infrastructure, and the essential public investment needs of general infrastructure, along with programs for the uplift of scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, other backward classes, minorities, and women and children. The component plans for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes will need to be revitalized. We will have to devise innovative plans to ensure that minorities, particularly the Muslim minority, are empowered to share equitably in the fruits of development. They must have the first claim on our resources.
Ashutosh, you heard the Prime Minister's speech. This is the speech which Prime Minister Modi referred to, saying this is an example of the Congress saying particularly Muslims will have the first claim to resources, and thereby he was only referring to what the Congress had said earlier. This is the argument the BJP is making, that the Prime Minister was stating a fact according to them.
Prime Minister is stating a fact, but what Prime Minister is saying, if that is not hate speech, then what is hate speech? The fact of the matter is that why Prime Minister is quoting the ex-Prime Minister after 18 years. That's the crux of the issue. The Prime Minister is quoting after 18 years Manmohan Singh for the simple reason because the Prime Minister and the BJP and the Sangh Parivar today is nervous. Because the first phase election has clearly shown that there is an indifference in the voters, there is a drop in the voting percentage, and there is no enthusiasm for the Prime Minister and the BJP and the regime itself. You had gone to the Rajasthan and the Western UP and go anywhere. There is a sudden drop. So Prime Minister knows that his developmental model is not working. People are not enthused because there is a strong anti-incumbency. You see any survey, any field report, the corruption is high.
Could you?
There is a
Could
high
but could Prime Minister Manmohan Singh have avoided saying first claim of resources? He could have said equal claim. By saying first claim, you gave the BJP an opportunity in a way to say, look, the Congress wanted to appease minorities.
Prime Minister Manmohan Singh should have avoided. There's no doubt about it. But the very next day, the Prime Minister office then the Prime Minister office has given a clarification, and after that clarification, the matter should end. The issue is why after 18 years BJP has suddenly got an issue. So that's what I'm saying. Today the BJP is nervous. BJP, which has been claiming that the BJP will get 370 seats, is it not a fact that the BJP is today not confident that they are going to get 270 or 280 seats? And that's where the problem lies, because whenever BJP is in crisis, they always go back to the Hindu-Muslim binary. And I will be more than happy to quote MS Golwalkar in his book, where he says the minorities, especially Muslims, have to live at the whims and the wishes of the Hindus. And if they want to live here, they should live here without any civil rights. And
you're also quoting something of 50 years ago of Golwalkar. You see, just as you're claiming Prime Minister Modi is quoting Manmohan Singh from 18 years ago, you're going to quote Golwalkar from 50 years ago.
Rajdeep, the Golwalkar has never issued a clarification on what he said and what he wrote. The BJP, after many years, had dissolved. The fact of the matter is, I'm talking about the BJP and its ideology. The ideology is the same. The Deen Dayal Upadhyay repeats almost the same thing. And every BJP member of parliament here and there has been saying the similar things. Do you look at what the Hyderabad member of parliament of the BJP is doing over there? So it's nothing new. The issue is, if the BJP is honest, they should come out openly and say, yes, we are anti-Muslims. But has BJP ever taken a stand that they have demolished Babri Masjid? No, they have not. That's why I call this the dishonesty of the conviction, and this is the dishonesty being not true to your ideology when you can't publicly own your ideology.
Okay, you're making an important point when you claim that all of this is being done to promote, you believe, to almost galvanize the core because of low voter turnout, is your claim. Yes, I know, Sanju, you want to come in, but there's a third guest and I'll come to you. But before I come to Colin Gonsalves, because you're a lawyer who's looked at these hate speech cases in the past, I want to play what the Prime Minister said. We heard what Manmohan Singh said. In the interest of fairness, let's play the entire bite of what the Prime Minister said in Baswada yesterday. Listen in.
इसका मतलब ये संपत्ति इकट्ठी करके किसको बांटेंगे? जिनके ज्यादा बच्चे हैं उनको बांटेंगे। घुसपैठियों को बांटेंगे। क्या आपकी मेहनत की कमाई का पैसा घुसपैठियों को दिया जाएगा? आपको मंजूर है ये कांग्रेस का मैनिफेस्टो कह रहा है।
Colin Gonsalves, your response. Do you believe that this qualifies as hate speech? Sanju Verma said, show me the direct reference to Muslims and then only can you claim it's hate speech.
Rajdeep, any ordinary person listening to this speech would say that this speech is pure poison, unadulterated poison. There is no doubt that this is hate speech in the extreme. Hate speech is anything that causes disharmony, that causes enmity between communities. There's no doubt. Anybody in the country will hear that and say that, watch out, country, watch out, that those who have more babies, namely the Muslim community, this government is going to, the next government or the Congress government is going to distribute all your wealth among the Muslims. What a horrible, disgusting thing for a person of the stature of the Prime Minister to say. It carries a sentence of 3 years. There's no question of show cause notice and reply and all those kind of things. It carries a sentence of 3 years imprisonment. And in a recent Supreme Court judgment delivered hardly 8 months ago, Justice K.M. Joseph's bench said, when hate speech happens, it must be stamped out immediately. It is not necessary that anyone go with the video clip of the speech and register it as an FIR in the police station. The authorities concerned, in this case, the Election Commission of India must suo moto, the authorities must suo moto register an FIR and take action in accordance with law. Therefore, there is no doubt at all, Rajdeep, to connect it with Manmohan's speech is a sign of how desperate the government has become. They don't know how to justify a prime minister who has made a speech of the most horrific kind, never made in the history of India by any prime minister in this country.
Those are very strong words, very strong words,
and
Colin.
If the Election Commission...
Yes.
Yes. And if the Election Commission, I'll just end here, Rajdeep, if the Election Commission dithers on this, procrastinates on such a simple issue, all you need to do is see the whole speech. And right across this country, the speech has been taped. The speech has been televised. It is the simplest thing in the world for the Election Commission to act. And if the Election Commission doesn't act, I don't think there'll be any citizen in this country which will have any semblance of faith in the Election Commission of India. They must show courage.
Okay,
they
you
must
made
show
your
integrity,
point. Colin, I've heard you.
And they must show spine to speak up on this. Yes, thank you.
Very, very strong words. And Sanju Verma, you therefore need to respond to both Ashutosh, who says this is classic divisive sloganeering, aimed to galvanize the core after the first round of voting, and Colin Gonsalves, who says prima facie, this is nothing but unadulterated, pure venom being poured out against the minorities. I might add here, Sanju Verma, that today, National Family Health Survey of your own government says all population growth rates are declining. The real actual problem is north versus south when it comes to population growth rates, no longer Hindu versus Muslim. So on that count also...
Please?
No, 1 minute, ma'am. I want your response to what you heard from Ashutosh and what you heard from Colin.
Okay. I have never asked for a level playing field. It is clear that Mr. Colin Gonsalves is driven by his visceral hatred for Narendra Modi, and anyone who reads the propaganda pieces of Colin Gonsalves in the Wire, which is just a rag and a piece of trash, will know that Colin Gonsalves masquerades as a human rights lawyer, but he's just an
I don't want personal attacks, ma'am. I'm not interested in you answer my question today. I am not interested in personal attacks against any of you. He can call you a propagandist. Please answer my question. Is this unadulterated hate speech or not?
Rajdeep, first and foremost, let me be very clear with you. I'm being very respectful of you. Colin Gonsalves sat on your show. He's been abusing the Prime Minister left, right and center, and you have said sab changa si because you respect freedom of speech. The moment Sanju Verma gives a
he didn't make a personal attack against you. He didn't make a personal. You're attacking him. But please go ahead. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
If you don't want me on your debate, I will leave.
Please go ahead, ma'am.
So now let me speak without being heckled.
Yes.
I repeat, I'm sitting here as the national spokesperson of the BJP. And if Colin Gonsalves, a propagandist, speaks rubbish about the Prime Minister, I will rebut. If you don't like it, too bad for you. Now, my response. They always say actions speak louder than words. And let the educated audience of Rajdeep Sardesai judge. 31% of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana disbursed to minorities, particularly Muslims, under last 10 years of Modi government. 33% of Ayushman Bharat disbursed to minorities, particularly Muslims, in the last 10 years under Narendra Modi. 34% of PM Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana disbursed to minorities, especially Muslims, under Narendra Modi. 36% beneficiaries of PM Ujjwala Yojana are minorities, especially Muslims. 37% of Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana beneficiaries are minorities, especially Muslims. In the first term of Narendra Modi, 3.4 crore minority, especially Muslim young men and women, got scholarships. In the second term of Narendra Modi, 5.9 crore minority youngsters, especially Muslim young men and women, have got scholarships. Last year, 4,300 Muslim girls and women went for Hajj without a mehran, which is without a male counterpart. Prior to that year, also 4,600 Muslim young women and elderly went for Hajj without a male accomplice. It is Narendra Modi who in 2019 made instant triple talaq illegal and unconstitutional, and people like Colin Gonsalves, who talk of human rights, said revocation of instant triple talaq should not have been done. This is the kind of hypocrisy that Narendra Modi faces, and yet this is a man.
So what was the need then for the comment? Ma'am, no one denies, ma'am, just a minute. No one denies that the Prime Minister, and you listed out that very effectively, has given made various government schemes which are, just a minute, ma'am, just a minute, let's listen to each other. Why? No, 1 minute. No, 1 minute, ma'am. I will put the voice down if you do this. I am asking you, then what is the need for this comment? My limited, ma'am, if the Prime Minister, as you rightly say, has done all this for Muslims, especially minorities, through his various government schemes, what is the need for this comment? All the more.
Can I please? Yes, I will answer that. That's a very nice question. Rajdeep, you know what I find extremely surprising and what I find appalling and mortifying is that when Udayanithi Stalin says Sanatan Dharma is equal to dengue, COVID, malaria, people say, oh, this is not anti-Hindu hate speech.
No hate speech.
FOE
It's hate
Can
speech.
I finish now? Did I interrupt you? Did I heckle you, Rajdeep?
Please go ahead.
Yeah. When Udayanithi Stalin, a crypto-Christian, says Sanatan Dharma is equal to dengue, malaria, the entire cabal, including Colin Gonsalves, say this is just pure freedom of expression, sab changa si. When Senthil Balaji says everybody from Uttar Pradesh and Bihar who settled in Tamil Nadu, they are just poor, uneducated Golgappa sellers. People from north are uneducated. That is why they vote for Modi. People like Colin Gonsalves say sab changa si. When Rajiv Gandhi said, तो क्या हुआ यदि 3000 सिखों को जिंदा जला दिया जब बड़ा पेड़ गिरता है धरती हिलती है and people like Colin Gonsalves say सब चंगा सी. Here Narendra Modi has revoked instant triple talaq. He's bringing in the uniform civil code. He's trying to notify rules for CAA so that persecuted minorities, including persecuted Christians, persecuted Buddhists from say Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Pakistan are given Indian citizenship. People like Colin Gonsalves will not see the truth. They miss the woods for the trees.
Okay,
and they will say,
I've heard you, ma'am, I've heard you with great patience, and you made some points which deserve to be answered by both Colin Gonsalves and Ashutosh. But since you referred repeatedly to Colin Gonsalves, let me ask him first. Then we'll come to the politics in a moment again. Colin Gonsalves, are you being hypocritical? Would you call what Udayanithi Stalin said, likening Sanatan Dharma to dengue, malaria, as hate speech or not? Are we only singling out Prime Minister Modi? Are you only singling out Prime Minister Modi?
No, I think in fact that Sanatan Dharma statement could possibly be characterized as hate speech also. And I'm happy that the BJP spokesman referred to triple talaq, because we were all supporters of the abolition of triple talaq as it was unconstitutional. There are some things that the BJP say about, discrimination and so on, which we agree with. So we certainly don't blindly follow leader A or leader B or leader C. But in my mind, I'm clear that the statement made by that top politician was pure poison and deserves to be taken up in law and punished. There's no doubt in my mind.
You will not make, no, ashamed and all. I don't want to hear words like this here. Okay, Colin, you're clarifying that you're...
I'll finish in 30 seconds.
Yes.
30 seconds.
Yes.
I'll finish in 30 seconds. So it has to be punished. Because you see, hate speech has gone uncontrolled for the last 10 years at least, even though Supreme Court has issued judgment after judgment. And now the time has come for the Supreme Court to put teeth into its judgments and take up an issue of a prominent person, a prominent leader, and see that the law is followed through to the hilt. Only then will hate speech stop in this country.
Ashutosh, your response to what you heard from Sanju Verma. She's accusing those who attack the Prime Minister of hypocrisy. She's pointing to the various government schemes which she says are non-discriminatory. Muslims have also got benefits under Ujjwala, so do Hindus. Your response. And Sanju Verma, be patient.
Rajdeep.
Yes.
I have taken enough rubbish from the BJP on all different kind of TV channels. Today I am relieved that I am spared by Sanju Verma. Let me also say it on record that Colonel Gonzalez is one of the most respected lawyers this country has ever produced. And no BJP lawyers related to the BJP can match up to his stature. And anybody who is trying to throw a muck at him is coming back to the person concerned. Let me be very blunt on this. The fact of the matter is that the BJP wants this debate to continue. BJP will brazen it out because this is done with a clear-cut thought process. And the thought process is that it is only the Hindu-Muslim binary. It is only the hate speech against the minorities. Only that can sail BJP through this election. Otherwise, BJP today is nervous. Let me repeat it again. Today, BJP is nervous. And the one spokesperson after another spokesperson from the BJP and their supporters will go on TV channels, will heckle anchors, will heckle the panelists, and will heckle everybody, will call names because they want this debate to continue. And that's the sad part of it. Unfortunately, Sanju Verma should be the Colonel Gonzalez, with such dignity he has answered, that Sanju Verma should be ashamed of what he has said about him.
Okay, as I said, best to avoid personal attacks on a show like this. It's completely avoidable. But I think Ashutosh is repeatedly making a point, Sanju Verma, that you need to answer. All of this binary is being done because you want a weapon of mass distraction, a WMD. You want to play the Hindu-Muslim binary. I want to tell our viewers, we asked a Congress spokesperson to come. Just a minute. They've refused to join the Congress. They are saying that the BJP wants TV debates to take place on this, to take away from the real issues that are being raised by them, they claim, which are unemployment, which is rising prices. The BJP wants to convert this into Hindu-Muslim. This is, according to them, the real face of Prime Minister Modi. Your response?
Now, when I speak, I do not want to be heckled, because when Ashutosh was speaking, he was given a full screen by you. Sanju Verma does not want a level playing field to make her points. Rajdeep shows are completely lopsided, but since he's asked me a question, I will answer this. Thank you. Sanju Verma is not ashamed for, calling out the bluff of Modi naysayers. Sanju Verma is not ashamed for calling out the bluff of wannabes like Ashutosh. Sanju Verma is not scared of calling out the bluff of wannabe human rights activists like Colin Gonzalez, and I'll tell you why.
No, answer Ashutosh's question. Ashutosh made a pointed question saying this Hindu Muslim. You answer that. Forget na idhar ki baat na karna udhar ki. Answer his question.
Rajdeep ji, please don't get so agitated. I'm answering Ashutosh's question.
You must answer the question.
Thank you. Yes, so stop heckling me.
You heckle me all the time. I'm asking you a simple question. You're the one heckling. Is this a Hindu-Muslim binary to convert the election as a weapon of mass distraction?
Rajdeep Sardesai, do not repeat the question again and again, because you love doing it. You love doing it when there are questions which are loaded against the BJP. शांत हो जाइए. अभी आपकी भी सुनने की बारी है, बीजेपी की बोलने की बारी है. राजदीप जी, आप ही के शो में I will call out your bluff also. How many Jandhan, and now don't interrupt me for 30 seconds. How many Jandhan bank accounts have been opened till date in the last 10 years under Narendra Modi? More than 52 crore. और इसमें से कई जनधन बैंक अकाउंट्स के खाते मुसलमान महिलाओं के हैं. How many tap water connections are being given under हर घर जल स्कीम? 13 करोड़ से ज्यादा पाइप वाटर कनेक्शंस खोले गए हैं और इसका लाभ मुसलमान बहनों को भी मिल रहा है. How many toilets have been opened in the last 10 years? More than 12 crore toilets. और टॉयलेट खोलने के पहले नरेंद्र मोदी ने ये नहीं पूछा कि ये शौचालय एक हिंदू महिला इस्तेमाल करेगी, मुसलमान इस्तेमाल करेगी या बुद्धिस्ट महिला इस्तेमाल करेगी. How many loans have been given under Pradhan Mudra Yojana?
I get your point. You made that point earlier. Then why does the Prime Minister need to at all speak about this? Why did he at all need to raise the issue of who procreates how much, who's an infiltrator? If he's done all this, why do you need at all hate speech of any kind?
Why is it that you get so rattled?
No, I'm not rattled. Ma'am, I'm not rattled. Please be very clear. I do yoga in the morning. I don't get rattled. But Ashutosh, you want to respond? Because it's the second time that Sanju Verma is raising the question, saying, please look at the schemes of the Prime Minister, which he says are non-discriminatory. How do you respond to that?
I need to finish in
No, you can't. If you can't, Ashutosh, respond.
Rajdeep, can the Modi government openly say that they will not distribute these privileges or whatever to the Muslims? Can they say it? Point number one. Constitutionally, they cannot say this. Point number two. These are the data which is thrown by the BJP spokesperson. I dispute these data. They should come out with the data officially.
No, there is no evidence, Ashutosh, that there has been any discrimination in government schemes towards Muslims. Let's be very clear. It's not as if Ujjwala, your beneficiaries are not Muslims.
Rajdeep, I am disputing these data because today the data provided by the government of India is disputed all over. Point number 3, ideologically, BJP wants that the Muslims and the minorities should not have the civil rights. They can have other rights. So they want them to live like a second-class citizen. The second-grade citizen, they also deserve to have some food. So they have no problem with that. Their problem when they have a civil rights, when they have political rights, they have a citizen's right. So let's not get into, let's not take this bluff by Sanjeev Verma. This is a bluff, and I dispute their data about the minorities, about the distribution of their things.
Okay, 30 seconds and on the clock, Sanjeev Verma. The question that Ashutosh has been repeatedly posing, this is a deliberate attempt to make this election Hindu-Muslim to galvanize the core of the BJP, which according to him didn't come to vote in the first phase. Quick, 30-second response.
Now, I don't want to be heckled. If you give me the full screen, I will speak.
Starting.
Because that is what you do for Ashutosh.
One.
No, I will speak if I'm given the full screen like you do for the others.
Please give her a full screen. Please give Sanjeev Verma a full screen. Go ahead.
Thank you. Now, please don't heckle me. I repeat. 52 crore Jan Dhan.
No, you're not answering my question. I don't want to hear that.
I'm answering.
I am asking you a question. I want an answer to the question. Is this to divide, to change the narrative? Yes or no?
ठीक है. गालिब की एक कहावत है, राजदीप जी. ताउड़ा गालिब में ये भूल करता रहा, धूल चेहरे पर थी और मैं आईना साफ करता रहा. I will just request various political parties, including, and now don't mute me, Mamata Banerjee, leaders like Mamata Banerjee who have been peddling hate under the garb of secularism to first come clean. The day Rajdeep Sardesai agrees that when Mamata Banerjee calls Hindus as kafirs, that is hate speech, उस दिन मैं आपके साथ नरेंद्र मोदी पर डिबेट करूंगी. Today also she said, ये हिंदू तो रामनवमी पर दंगा करते हैं. Jai Shri Ram is a war cry. Hindus in West Bengal are kafirs. What do you say to that, Rajdeep Sardesai? Should Mamata Banerjee
anyone who uses religion, I am very clear, anyone who spreads religious hatred between communities. Yes, Mamata Banerjee said there are Hindus who are using Ram Navami. We must be careful about comments, whether it's Prime Minister or Mamata Banerjee. My limited point, and I want to end the debate here. Any politician, I have been as a journalist for 35 years. I am very clear. Any politician who uses religion to stoke religious divide, who uses religious divides to appeal to voters is guilty under the Model Code of Conduct. The Model Code of Conduct must be respected, whether it's Narendra Modi, Mamata Banerjee, Rahul Gandhi, Udaynidhi, Stalin, you name it. Throw the law book at all of them. I am very clear, ma'am. Please, Bal Thackeray, it happened to, please throw it to anyone. Anyone, Mamata Banerjee, anyone. Anyone guilty. Hate speech, unacceptable. Yes, unacceptable. If anyone uses religion to divide people, it's the worst thing you can do in this great country called India. This is a country which is built not like Pakistan, which was built on Muslim majoritarianism. It's been built on bringing people together, build bridges. That's all I call for. I don't care about any politician, any one of them resorts to hate speech, throw the law book at them. I hope all my panelists will agree with that. And that's the basis. Law above all else. It's the constitution above all else. Not any politician. So I'm very clear, ma'am. I am very clear. That's my view. I hope you've heard it loud and clear, ma'am. And I repeat it. Any politician who uses religion to stoke hatred must be acted against. This country deserves better.